everybody, today we're going to make the Floral Wash Set from the July 2026 Hoop Studio Project Kit. Hoop Studio is a monthly subscription by Me Time Delivered, which is a Kimberbell company. I'll have a link below for information and sign-ups. This month's kit included the washcloth, the hand towel, some wash away topping, it's inside that bag, 2 spools of glide thread, our printed instructions, and our project card. What you need is your embroidery machine, 5x7 hoop, and some sticky back wash away stabilizer. We're going to start with the hand towel. You want to load your sticky back wash away stabilizer in a 5x7 hoop. We'll do that together. We're going to be using glide embroidery thread in the colors Blush and Admiral. Those were included in this month's kit. I'll be using my Kimberbell wash away sticky back. I'll have a link for that below. We've got our 5x7 hoop. I already cut 2 pieces because these are going to be done individually. Your sticky back stabilizer has a shiny paper side and a fabricy feeling side. Shiny paper side goes up. We want to go ahead and put that in our hoop. It's going to make some noise because it's got the paper on it. Press it down, tighten it, and then we'll peel away the paper. In order to get this in your hoop, you're probably going to need to loosen your hoop a little bit more than usual. It's a little bit thick. I've got that in. Press down and tighten. I'm going to use some scissors to scratch the surface, and then we're going to peel away the paper and expose the sticky part. Once you've got the sticky part exposed, you're ready to head over to the machine. We are over at the machine. I'm on a baby lock Meridian. My file's on my Hoop Studio USB. Instructions. Got the folding metal book stand, my home sewn needle minder. I'll have information on everything below. Let's go ahead and bring up our files. The first thing we have to do is stitch out the crosshairs. We'll start with that. It says to do that in a visible thread. I have white thread on my machine. The towels and things we're going to use today are white. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the white thread. Set embroidery, and we're ready to stitch out our crosshairs. Before I forget, these are the needles that are on my machine today. I have the Schmetz Super Non-Stick 8012 needle. Let's stitch out our crosshairs. I'm going to take this off my machine, put it on the table. We're going to get our towel loaded. Got my towel over here on my tray table. Here's the tag. I do not want the tag to be where I place my design, so I'm going to slide that end over that direction. You want it right side up because we're going to start by folding it in half, right sides together lengthwise. Like this. Right sides together. Got that folded. This fold right here, they're calling fold A. We're going to fold it up, so let's just go and turn it. We've got our open edge here, fold A here. 4.5 inches, excluding the edge. Here's the edge, the nice finished border. I have a 4.5 inch ruler. I thought that'd be the easiest thing to use. Kind of grab it and slide it up. That is going to be fold B. I need to slide this over. I want to keep it folded and nice and neat. Going to grab our hoop. You've got your crosshairs on your stabilizer. We're going to place the towel here. You'll have a fold here. That'll be fold A and fold B. I'm going to grab that. There's our fold A and the fold B at the bottom. Lay that on the sticky stabilizer, lining up your folds. The towel is nice and poofy. I did pre-wash mine. I mentioned that in the unboxing video. And we're going to unfold. Keep that fold along the crosshair line. Just try and keep it straight. If it's a little bit off, nobody's gonna know. It'll be fine. And go ahead and unfold. And I can see the fold line. See, that's right there. And you can see your string. There we go. So once you've got it where you want it in the hoop, kind of look at it, make sure it looks straight. Press it down. This is a sticky back. It should stick really well. Once you've got this pressed down, you can put this back on your machine. Make sure your excess toweling hangs over the back of your machine. You don't want to slide this on the machine and get the toweling caught underneath it. Make sure it's hanging over the back. I took the crosshairs off my screen. You can do that by hitting your home button. Let's go ahead and load our file for the towel. It's going to be this one right here with the vase and the flowers. This does have a long stitch out time, but there's no applique. This is all stitching. My machine has it at 53 minutes. I do not have my machine running at full speed. We want to go ahead and put the Admiral blue color on our machine. I have the blue on my machine. One thing I want to watch out for is to make sure this doesn't get caught as it moves. The first thing we're going to stitch is a basting outline. I'm going to keep an eye on this part and the part that's over the back. If anything looks like it's going to get caught, you can roll it up and clip it. Same thing on the back, you can roll it and clip it. Let's go ahead and stitch out our basting outline. I went ahead and grabbed some large clips. I do want to go ahead and clip this just in case. I don't want to take a chance that it's going to get caught as the arm is moving. We want to go ahead and keep it out of the way. This is pretty thick. You might have to get creative with your clip placement. In your kit you have 2 pieces of wash away topping. This is the bigger one, the 5.5 by 7.5. We want to completely cover the area inside this basting box. So you'll probably have to pull this towards you or take it completely off your machine. You want to cover it with the wash away topping. Just lay it down like that. And this is wash away, so if you have wrinkles or folds or anything, it's not going to matter. Just make it as smooth as you can. And then we're going to go ahead and add some tape. Once you've got that taped on, there's one other thing you should probably check. Do you have some bobbins ready? This is a pretty stitch heavy project. Make sure you've got some bobbins wound. We're ready to start. We're going to stitch the lay down mesh, leaves and vase outlines, and the decorative outlines. It's all one step. On your machine you probably have a little timeline. You can see that about 3/4 of it is blue. That's what we're going to start with. Let's get stitching. That was a really long stitch out. We're going to switch to the color blush. We'll stitch out the flowers outlines and centers fills. This is all stitched out. I had a thread break right about here. I had to back up and restitch a little bit of it, but it looks good. What we're going to do next is stitch out the little washcloth. So all I'm going to do is take this out of the hoop and set it aside. We'll stitch out the next one, and then we'll go through and we'll talk about how to remove the stabilizer and finish our projects. Let's go ahead and put some fresh stabilizer in our 5 by 7 hoop, and we'll get our file loaded for the washcloth. Let's load the file for the washcloth. This is a much faster stitch out. Mine is showing at 17 minutes. When I loaded my stabilizer, I put a little hole in the corner of this when I was picking the peel off the paper. What you can do if that happens, whether it's in the corner or somewhere else on your hoop, flip it to the back, put a piece of paper tape on it, and we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and put that on my machine. We're starting with the blue thread. The first thing we're going to stitch out is the placement line. It's going to stitch a V right on your sticky stabilizer. I'm going to take this off my machine. We're going to load our washcloth. I've got this on my table. We're going to place a corner of our washcloth here right side up. When you look at your washcloth, this also has a tag. I'm going to go to the opposite corner of the tag. You can also cut off the tag. I just have not cut off the tags yet. So we'll leave the tag up there at the top. And you're just going to place this and line it up. And line that up. And I need to smooth it out. The extra is going to be at the top. Make sure that's nice and smooth and flat. And we are going to stitch a basting box. Even though we're going to stitch a basting box, I'm actually going to add just a bit of tape right here. You may not need it. This is kind of just in case. I don't want it to move. When I pick it up and take it back to the bed of my machine, I want to make sure it's going to stay. Put this back on our machine. I've got the extra hanging off the back. You don't want it to get folded under your hoop. Double check, make sure it's not caught underneath, and we're going to stitch out the basting outline. If you look at the picture on page 6, you can see the little basting box here does touch really close to the edge of the washcloth. I'm going to switch this thread. I have the correct color thread on my machine. I want to pull this toward me. We have to put down our wash away topping just like the last one. Get it laying as flat as you can and then add your tape all the way around. In the instructions, it shows tape only at the top and bottom. I like to put tape all the way around whenever I'm using stuff like this. It's just a precaution. I want to make sure it's not going to move. That's all taped down. I'm going to slide this back on my machine. We're going to start by stitching out the small bud satin outline. We're going to switch to Admiral Blue and stitch out the leaves, fills, and border satin outline. We're going to switch to Blush and we're going to stitch out the accent line and flower satin outlines and details. We are all done stitching. We're going to take both of these over to the table. We need to take off the tape, the wash away topping, and pick out the basting stitches to start. Let's head over to the table. I've got both of these out of the hoop. We'll walk through each one at a time. After you've got it out of your hoop, you can remove your tape, tear away the excess topping. You can actually do this while it's in the hoop. I just already have it out of the hoop, so let me go ahead and remove the tape and tear away the topping. Once the tape is off and you've torn away the topping, you can flip it to the back. Again, you can do this while it's still in the hoop. It really doesn't matter. We're going to get rid of the basting stitches. Got a seam ripper here. A lot of times, if you pop your bobbin stitches from the back, it makes it really easy to pull the stitches away from the front. These might just pull because they're really big basting stitches. The only spot you need to be really careful with right here, that's your tack down. Don't yank it. Don't risk putting a hole in your pretty towel. I'm going to flip to the back and you'll see you've got a knot. I'm just going to really carefully try and pick out the knot. I got the knot out. You might have noticed I peeled away the stabilizer. A little piece of thread was caught between the stabilizer and the towel. After that, it says to trim the excess stabilizer close to the design. I'm just curious to see if this will tear away. This is a sticky back wash away. It might not tear. As I was removing the stabilizer, I noticed it was really easy to tear this direction, but not the other direction. So I had to get the scissors to cut some of this away. It says in the instructions to remove the remaining stabilizer, machine wash on a cold temperature setting, tumble dry on a low temperature setting. Since I am filming the video, I'm not going to stop and machine wash it and dry it. We'll get a look at it when we take the stuff off the washcloth. We're going to do the same thing, remove the tape, tear away the topping, and then it says turn the hoop to the back, remove the basting stitches, and then it says after that to remove the project from the hoop. I already have it out of the hoop just like the other one, and then to trim it close to the design. So take away the tape, get rid of the topping, and then we need to get rid of our basting stitches. I grabbed a pin and I was able to get in there from underneath and pick out that last bit of thread, but I think I might have pulled a loop on the towel. At least you can't see it from the front. All the excess stabilizer is trimmed away. Before I use these, I will dissolve the rest of this stabilizer. It can feel kind of sticky as it dissolves, so you want to make sure you get rid of that before you use your projects. Let's flip them to the front and see how they turned out. These came out great. They're so pretty. What I really like about these designs, there's no applique. It's just stitching, which is nice. 2 colors. And you can change these and stitch them out any color you want so it can match any decor. You could use a darker towel and stitch out this blue and white. That would look really pretty. You can make the flowers any color you want. I do see a couple threads you may want to trim if your machine stitches them out, up to you. One right here and one right here. There's some here and here crossing the leaves. Thank you for stitching out the Floral Wash Set from July's Hoop Studio. If you're thinking of purchasing this or another Kimberbell item you've seen in one of my videos, please consider using the links below. I get a small commission, but more importantly, it lets Kimberbell know people are watching and enjoying my content. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends. There's also a link below to my private Facebook group. You have to answer one security question that helps keep out the bots and the spammers. I'll be back soon with more Kimberbell fun. See you next time. Bye, everybody!